Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to show 343. Gotta look for my microphone, it's gotta be here somewhere. Welcome to show 343. Today we're gonna be talking about outworking your old self, okay? Outworking your old self and making sure that we outwork it so much that we leave the old version of us behind. Alright guys, let's get into this. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Borman, and if you are coming through, then please do let me know by hitting the love heart button, and then do commenting like whether you're watching here right now and how your week's been so far. Okay, whoops. Cool. All right, so before we get into this, I just want to share something. And if you've recently followed me, you would never have known Digby. But Digby was my collie who passed away, and it's been a year today since he passed. And we were walking down the promenade here, and it's a prominent shooting star that literally lit up the sky. When I asked in my mind, I wonder how he's doing, and this huge shooting star come down and lit up the sky. It was one of the most emotional moments ever. It was incredible. And I just wanted to share that with you because it just literally has made me smile all morning. Yeah, Digby used to run 50 milers with me and marathons. He ran 3 marathons and 1 50 miler with me. He used to run everywhere with me. He was like the best dog in the world. And we lost him a year today, bless him. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. So, listen, I want you to imagine, yourself. And then we have a direct parallel version of yourself. And one of those versions of yourself is somebody that doesn't show up, somebody that makes excuses, somebody that is ill-disciplined, somebody that is not in control of their mindset or their emotions. Boom. Let's put that person right there next to us. Let's put them in black shorts with black boxing gloves. Then there's you. There's this person that recognizes that they need to change, that wants to be more disciplined, that wants to lead themselves better, that wants to show up at a higher level, be fitter, stronger mentally and emotionally, right? Let's put you in white shorts and white boxing gloves. And what we're going to do is put both versions of you into an octagon ring or a boxing ring. And you're going to slug it out. And the idea is that you have to be able to outwork the other version of you. If you are ever going to make progress, we've got to outwork that version of you in the black boxing gloves and shorts. Because if we don't, the consequences are you falling foul to bad habits. You falling foul to ill discipline, you going 1% in the wrong direction, right? If that guy or that version of you outworks you, you're going to end up in the wrong place. So we've got to make sure that we are outworking that individual. And there's a couple of things that we can do to make sure that we're doing that, okay? So the first one for me is absolutely critical. It's absolutely crucial because it provides the discipline that is needed to reach the outcome that you want. So if you want to be a leader in your life, you want to earn more money, you want a stronger business, a bigger career, more connection with your wife, there's got to be SRS. So SRS is structure, routine, and systems. And what we do when people come into our world, into our programs or into our memberships, immediately they are embroiled within an SRS system. Okay, they are embroiled within a structure, a routine, and a system, and immediately that changes the mindset. So straight away you're outworking your old self. Your old self will just be firefighting, going through a Groundhog Day mentality, surviving, scrambling, firefighting. You then come in with immediate structure, immediate routine, immediate systems. Bang, you outwork that person, that version of you, straight away. And what we start doing is building up an internal voice, an internal standard, maybe some standards that we haven't had before. And it makes you start moving in the right direction. 1%, 1%, 1%. And if you ever watch boxing or UFC, you'll know that when you're starting to get on top of your partner, it's just that consistency of that jab and the consistency of pressure. And that's what you're doing on your old self. You're consistently squeezing the old version of you. Because you've got a morning routine. Because you're conditioning your mind and your mindset and your emotions in that morning routine. Because you have a home routine or evening routine when you come back from work. You're starting to squeeze out that old self of you of having that beer or going out with friends or sitting down and watching Netflix or not being helpful around the house. You're actually pushing the boundaries, okay, of what you can achieve when it comes to excuses that you make. You don't recognize them anymore. You don't listen to them anymore. Because you're building that structure, that routine and that system, we're building those non-negotiables. So all of the cracks inside of your mind and your development, we're starting to fill them in by showing up. So we naturally outwork that version of ourselves that lets us down every single time. And that's the process of evolution of your mind and your emotions and your direction and where you want to be, right? And that's that process of learning and showing up. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is having a review system. Now, if we do not review ourselves, okay, we do not understand ourselves. We cannot just plow through the process and not stop, reflect, and understand and learn. A reviewing process is where we learn. If you watch Match of the Day or you watch Sky Sports, man, they love analysis, right? They end up sitting there for hours talking about tactics, games, strategies, mindset. And that's what a lot of football coaches and managers will do with their players to improve themselves. If they didn't have that review system, those footballers would never improve. That tennis player would never improve. Okay? That is what we're looking to try and initiate in our own lives, right? We are trying to build a review system so that we can look back at how we are performing in our lives and go, man, this is what I need to improve on this time. This is what's not working, so this is what I have to change. And we keep going through that process. That review process never stops. It never changes. So we must persevere with that. And once we have that review system, we adjust, change, plow through. Adjust, change, plow through. Again, consistency, momentum, self-pressure, squeezing out the old self. Because what we're doing is identifying the old version of ourselves that was in the black shorts and the black gloves. And we're learning what didn't work there, and we're learning now what does work. So we're outworking that side of us. Does that make sense to you guys? If that makes sense so far, guys, just hit the blue thumb button for me. And then lastly, the thing for me that I think is important is having the self-respect of yourself to outwork that old individual. And one of the things I think we have to do here is find peace in our past. Find peace about the guy that used to be in the black shorts, in the black boxing gloves. You have to find peace and understanding about why you ended up in that place. But not dwell on it, not sit on it, and how we outwork that is by moving away from it. And you've got to have that self-respect for yourself that actually, I am good enough to move away from that guy. I am good enough to be away from that human being that I used to be. Like, I never really used to be a great guy in my 30s, in my early 30s. When I was a PTI in the Marines, I was very stubborn, very selfish, very arrogant, very egotistical. I'm not even a shadow of the person I was today. Okay? And I look at that old self, and I outworked that old self to change. Because I didn't want to be that guy. I don't like that guy. But I come to terms with the people that I hurt along the way. I respected myself more. I respected the people around me more. And I outworked him to become the guy that I am today. pounded him into the ground with perseverance, consistency. And I always know that in my mind, that if I don't outwork myself, I could slip back to that person. I won't. I'm too far gone the other side now. I'm too far gone. There's too many non-negotiables. I'm too well conditioned not to be that person anymore. That person will never be in my life again. All right? And that is that old version of ourselves. So we're constantly trying to outrun that old version of yourselves. And I want you to have that visualization with your own development. When you are striving forwards, when you are thinking about making a decision, when you're thinking about quitting, when you're thinking about not working out, when you're thinking about not asking your wife if she needs help, or does she want to go out for dinner, or you're thinking about wanting to scroll through social media when your kids are there to play with, have that visualization that you've got to outdo that old version of yourself. So you've got to change the decisions and the mindset and the emotions. All right, guys? I hope that helps, because it is this constant battle of out-battling your old version, your old voice, your old self, your old mentality. We don't want that anymore, right? 100%. So what I'd love for you guys to do, for me, is if you would do this, it will literally take you 2 minutes. And again, it falls into that number 2, which is that self-reflection. Is I want you to tell me in a sentence what you got most from this show. So in the comments below, just tell me the biggest thing that you got from the show and take that into your day. Happy? Can you do that for me? I appreciate it. I'm going to see you Friday, and we're going to start talking about the 2023. And by the way, if you need notifications of when I'm live, go to the Man Coach page, hit the blue button that says following or follow. That will bring up the settings, go to live videos, and change it from highlights to all notifications. So when I go live, it will pop up for you, and you'll be told when I'm going live, so you don't have to keep checking in.